Yo, what is up, Diamond family? It's your man Vivi, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and mix your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Look, man, I got a really crazy video for you guys today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to make your vocals sound professional in Pro Tools. Look, man, there's only two things that you need to do. I'm going to break them down for you right now. But before we jump into it, if you're still struggling to get your vocals to sit inside the beat, balance themselves out perfectly every single time, you need to check out my free course down below. It's going to completely change the game for you, teach you my simple technique for balancing out the vocals and the beat perfectly every single time. All right, so check that out. It's completely free. It takes about 15 minutes. It's down below. All right, let's dive into the track and we'll talk about the two things you need to do to make sure that your vocals are going to sound professional every single time. Let's get it.
Smoking exotic pack, I be with exotic guys. These bitches is lying, they cast. I be with the real ones at. I caught on my slide. Told the boy Mandy slide on his track.
All right, cool. So as you can hear, the vocal sounds okay. Like it's recorded well, it's clean, but the track doesn't sound professional. It doesn't sound finished. It doesn't sound done. So let's talk about the two things that you have to do in order to make sure your song sounds professional. So the first thing that you have to do is record it well, right? Now this one is recorded cleanly, but it's not recorded that well. And what I mean by that is, well, first of all, over here on the lead vocal bus, we actually turned it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and turn that back down. What I mean by it wasn't recorded well is that we didn't properly gain stage the mic when we recorded for the specific beat that we're working on. So you can see that the vocal is recorded like that. It's got plenty of headroom. It's not clipping or anything like that, but our beat also is not very loud. I don't know exactly how loud because I don't even have a meter up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a meter. These are the things that you should do every single time that you record a vocal. So when you're getting ready to record a vocal, load in your beat and put a meter on that beat. So I'm going to use the VMR, but you can use the VU meter from Waves. There's a lot of free meters you can use. Anything you want that's going to tell you accurately what your signal is looking like dynamics wise and how loud it is. That's the benefit of using a meter versus just like, you know, looking at a fader or something like that. Like it'll give you the number, but the meter is going to kind of show you how dynamic the source is as well, meaning the difference between the quietest and loudest parts. So let's see how loud our beat is.
Smoking exotic pack, I be with exotic guys. These bitches is lying, they cast. I be with the real ones at.
Cool. So the beat can actually come up a little bit, and that's going to take us into the second thing you need to do to make sure your vocals sound professional. Because most of the time we think there's something wrong with the vocal when it's the overall track that doesn't sound professional. And mainly it doesn't sound professional because it's not loud enough. And if you're struggling to get your songs loud enough, it's because they're probably not balanced right, which is what we're doing right now. So let's go ahead. Before I even turn the beat up, let's see how loud the song is as it is, and then we'll see how loud we can get. So let's just pull up a loudness meter, and this is just going to tell us, you know, the range of loudness, the momentary, integrated, all those kinds of things. And we're using LUFS because LUFS is what the streaming platforms that your song is going to end up on, that's what they use. And so we want to make sure that we're using the same measurement as the end goal, as the end platform, so that we know from the beginning if we're in the right place or not. All right, so let's go ahead and see where our numbers are.
Smoking exotic pack, I be with exotic guys. These bitches is lying, they cast. I be with the real ones at. I caught on my slide.
And so you can hear the entire track is just way too quiet, right? Negative 18 LUFS. We've got -4. We got 4 dB of headroom. So we can definitely afford to bring the beat up and probably the vocals as well. So let's do that first. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and boost. Let's start with just 3 dB on the beat and see where it puts us.
Smoking exotic pack, I be with exotic guys. These bitches is lying, they cast. I be with the real ones at. I caught on my slide. Told the boy Mandy slide on his track.
Cool. I like the way that sounds. Let's go to our vocal now and bring our vocal up. Now, instead of doing it on each individual vocal channel, I'm just going to do it on the lead vocal bus so that we can just focus on what we're getting there, just to save us a little bit of time and keep things a little bit more clear. So let's go to the bus and load up the exact same thing. I'm going to load up the same meter. Again, you can use the VU meter. You can use the VU meter with Waves, any kind of meter you like to use. I like this one because I can adjust the gain and the meter from within one plugin, and I can add more plugins, etc., etc. I just really think that the VMR is the way to go. But anyway, let's get our vocals turned up.
Smoking exotic pack, I be with exotic guys. These bitches is lying, they cast. I be with the real ones at. I caught on my slide. Told the boy Mandy slide on his track. Smoking exotic pack. I be with exotic gas. These bitches is lying, they cat. I be where the real ones at. I caught on my slime, I slide. Told that boy Mandy slide on his track. Smoking exotic pack. I be with exotic gas. These bitches is lying, they cat.
All right, cool. So you can hear how that sounds, right? That's kind of the balance that I'm going for. I'm going to show you a quick way to check that balance. If you go to your mixer window and you load up basically your music bus and your vocals bus. I don't think we really need this bus. I'm just going to get rid of it. I'll just hide it so it's not in the way. So you can watch the music bus and the vocal bus right next to each other. You want to make sure that as you see signal coming up on these two faders, they're about in the same place. Like one isn't all the way down here and the other one's up here. They're almost identical. Like they're matching each other. So watch.
Smoking exotic pack.
And obviously I've done something wrong. I don't think I updated the routing on this track. I didn't. Because when I recorded this a couple of years ago, I wasn't working in the same workflow that I'm working in now. So it's actually me going back over my work and correcting some mistakes I made when I just didn't know as much as I do now. So now let's watch everything.
Smoking exotic pack. I be with exotic gas. These bitches is lying, they cat. I be where the real ones at. I caught on my slime, I slide. Told that boy Mandy slide on his track.
And so there's two things that I'm noticing. One, the vocal is already pretty well compressed because we see it doesn't have a lot of jump and variation. And two, the beat is more 808 focused than anything because you can see those 808 hits, they peak a lot higher than the rest of the beat. But after the 808 hits, watch where the levels sit.
Smoking exotic pack. I be with exotic gas. These bitches is lying, they cat.
So anywhere between -10 and -15 is where we're kind of living at. Once we start to compress the track and hold things together better, that's really going to kind of solidify into an even smaller window of dynamics. So we're good there. Now let's add the real tool that's going to level this track up kind of instantly. So first I'm just going to go to view so I can see more of my inserts. There we go. And on this insert channel, I'm just going to add a clipper. And this is the clipper I like to use from Initial Audio. You can use any clipper that you like. Standard clip is another good one. There's, you can just throw like the FGX up here. You can throw an L2 right here. Whatever you like to use. I just like to use a clipper right here, and you're gonna see why. Let me load up my preset that I like to use, and then listen to the difference.
Smoking exotic pack. I be with exotic gas. These bitches is lying, they cat. I be where the real ones at. I caught on my slime, I slide. Told that boy Mandy slide on his track. Smoking exotic pack.
And so you see we went from I think -18 or so to -11 that quickly. We haven't controlled anything, like we haven't added any additional compression or anything. Literally what we did was adjust the volume of a few different elements in our mix and engage this clipper. And if you work in this format where you spend the time to balance things out correctly, you use a clipper to make sure everything is loud but not clipping, your tracks are going to sound professional every single time, man. It's literally that simple. So look, man, these are the tips I'm giving you guys week in and week out. And if you need a little bit more help, drop me a line down below. My name is Vivi, and I'm here for you. Remember, stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Smoking exotic pack. I be with exotic gas. These bitches is lying, they cat. I be where the real ones at. I caught on my slime, I slide. Told that boy Mandy slide on his track. Smoking exotic pack.